Hello everyone, my name's Joe Soyson. I'm a contributor for Fantom Sports Industries hockey page. Today I'll be continuing my series on power ranking NHL goalie rooms by division, and we're moving over to the Western Conference today, starting off with the Pacific Division. A lot to cover, so let's dive right in. Starting off at number 8, the San Jose Sharks. Look, it's arguably the least experienced goalie room in the division, and the two guys with the most experience, Mackenzie Blackwood and Kaapo Kähkönen, both have losing records. That being said, the two of them haven't had a ton of help in their very young careers. Blackwood is 26 years old, and this will be his first year not wearing a New Jersey Devils uniform. He played in 22 games for them last season, a year where the Devils finally popped, and he went 10-6-2. Kähkönen, on the other hand, is 27 years old and had workable numbers in Minnesota, but the Sharks are a rebuilding defense and will struggle with Erik Karlsson now gone. Last year, the Sharks' defense was 10th in total shots against. Now, I will say, I think the prospects for the Sharks look really good. Who knows how much we'll see of Eetu Makiniemi this year? He had good numbers through 2 games. Magnus Krona out of University of Denver. Georgi Romanov is playing well out of Russia. But with a lot of question marks on this team and a lot of really good offenses out of the West, I have to put the San Jose Sharks here at number 8. At number 7, the Anaheim Ducks. Look, they ranked last in goals against average last year, but they also gave up the most shots against of any team in the league. Anaheim has their starter in John Gibson. He's been on the team since 2013. Now, Gibson has struggled the past few years, but kept his save percentage above 90 until last year when it dipped to 89.9. Still, on his career, save percentage of 91.2 is really good. New to this roster, they added Alex Stalock to the lineup. He's from Chicago, or at least coming from the Blackhawks roster. He's 36 years old, and his career numbers aren't half bad. Goals against average of 2.70, save percentage of 90.8. Then there's 23-year-old Lukas Dostal, who could see some time in net as well. Look, you can win a lot of games with the numbers these guys put up, but they need support in front of them. This young core that the Ducks have has to step up. If they do, I think it's a quick turnaround for this group, but for now, these numbers are just too high for me to move them up any higher in this ranking, which is why I've got the Ducks at number 7 in the Pacific. At number 6, the Vancouver Canucks. This is a tricky room because they are young and consistent, which is a combo you don't see too frequently. This was a very young goalie room before their trade, Tanner Pearson for Casey DeSmith. Thatcher Demko is 27 years old, Zach Sawchenko is 25, Artur Silovs is 22. The new addition, Casey DeSmith, is only 32 years old, but it does make him the oldest goalie on the team. Now, I like consistency, and Vancouver certainly has that factor. Outside of Sawchenko, who's also new to the Canucks this year, there's very minimal drop-off and sometimes improvement at save percentage and goals against average for this group. Demko has a save percentage of 91 flat and a goals against average of 2.90. DeSmith has a save percentage of 91.2, goals against average of 2.81. Silovs save percentage 90.8, goals against average 2.75. But there's an asterisk and question marks that come with these numbers as well. Sawchenko's played in 7 games, only started in 3. Silovs has played in only 5 games. Demko and DeSmith, if you count their overtime losses as straight-up losses, they're a game under even. Overall, I'd like to see just a little more juice from this squad. I mean, their offense was ranked 13th overall in goals per game last season, yet they ended the year with a minus 22 goal differential. So I feel like if any of these goalies elevates, you should see the Canucks in the thick of things late in the year, right in the middle of that playoff race, which is why I've got the Vancouver Canucks at number 6 in the Pacific. At number 5, the Calgary Flames. This is one of the few times I'll take peaks and valleys over consistency. So Calgary's got 4 goalies on the roster. Jacob Markstrom, Dan Vladar, Dustin Wolf, and Oscar Dansk. Markstrom is the starter here. 33 years old, 6'6", and solid career numbers. Goals against average of 2.72, save percentage of 90.9. His time with the Flames has been streaky. He first joined them in 2020. His record was 22, 19, and 2. The next year was a career best, 37 wins in 63 games. Career high goals against and save percentage that year as well. But then cut to last year, 23, 21, and 12 last season. Vladar has backed up Markstrom the past 2 years, and although his career numbers aren't astonishing, check out his record. He wins games, 29, 14, and 8 all time. Dustin Wolf has played in only 1 game, but he looked great in it, and Oscar Dansk has a similar story to Vladar, just with way less games played. To me, this team is the opposite of Anaheim. They're younger, their numbers are just behind the Ducks, but they win a lot. And tack on all those overtime losses these guys have, they could easily flip some of those games and look even better. They do also have the benefit of a solid defense in front of them. Calgary allowed the 3rd least shots against of any team in the league. But at some point, you just got to say a win is a win, which is why I've got Calgary at number 5 here on the power rankings. At number 4, the Seattle Kraken. One of the most entertaining teams in last year's playoffs. They lost Martin Jones, and I don't know if they've lost a step here. It started with Philippe Grubauer. The 31-year-old hasn't played great in the regular seasons with Seattle, but he's gotten the job done when it's mattered in the postseason. When you look at his stats overall, goals against average and save percentage, in the regular season, 2.55 and 91.2. Slight dip in the postseason with competition being tighter, 2.65 and an even 91 save percentage. It tells me that if you have the offense, he will give them an opportunity to go win the game. But he hasn't shown that take over a game factor that guys like Shesterkin or Vasilevsky have shown. But he keeps it tight and he gives you a really good chance. The second string battle is between Joey Daccord and Chris Driedger. Now, Driedger has the better career numbers, 30, 23, and 5. Good goals against average and save percentage as well, 2.45 and 91.7%. But Daccord is the one on the come-up. He helped elevate the Coachella Valley Firebirds to a Calder Cup final this year in the AHL, and that experience might give him the edge. It's something to keep your eye on. But overall, this is a really likable squad, and you pair this squad with a defense that allowed the 2nd least shots against of any team in the NHL. I mean, that's going to win you a lot of games, and that's why I've got them at number 4 in the Pacific. At number 3, the Los Angeles Kings. Look, the win percentage and experience are just too good for me to ignore with this squad. Can we acknowledge how the Kings goalie room is significantly different from last year and still hasn't skipped a beat? Cal Peterson, gone. Korpisalo, gone. No problem. Enter Cam Talbot. 36 years old, 10-year veteran, and he wins everywhere he goes. His only 2 losing seasons were his first year in Edmonton, where he went 21, 27, and 5, and his last year in Edmonton, where he went 10, 15, and 3. Noteworthy are his career playoff numbers. They're actually stronger than his regular season stats. Goals against average of 2.51, save percentage of 92.1. They brought in David Rittich, 79, 51, and 21 in his career. He spent the last 3 years on 4 different teams, a career goals against average of 2.87. I mean, that's not far off from what some of the starting goalies in this division are putting up. And last but not least, the only returning member of this goalie squad is Phoenix Copley, who looked great last year, 24, 6, and 3 last season, 40, 15, and 6 in his career. And those save percentage and goals against numbers are nothing to scoff at. These 3 guys were all winning before they came to Los Angeles, and now you pair them with a team that had the 10th best goals per game average in the league. This is going to be a scary team, and the goalies are a massive reason why, and I've got them at number 3 in this division. At number 2, the Las Vegas Golden Knights. It feels blasphemous to put the defending Stanley Cup champions at anywhere other than first, but I'm doing it. Look, the emphasis on the Golden Knights is rightfully on the skaters and the defense, but they can afford all that talent because of how young and skilled their goalie squad is. Logan Thompson is 26 years old and has been on the team for 3 years. He hasn't even played a full season yet, but he wins a lot. 31, 18, and 6 in just 57 games. He's also very consistent. Past 2 seasons, his goals against average dropped by .03, and his save percentage went up by .01. He's coming off of a lower body injury that kept him out of the postseason last year, but if he's back to 100%, those numbers are hard to argue with. And then there's Adin Hill. What a performance in the playoffs. His first time ever playing in the postseason, and he gets the start over Jonathan Quick. He goes 11 for 4 with a save percentage of 93.2 and a goals against average of 2.17. And that's in the Western Finals and the Stanley Cup, where the competition is never better. His regular season stats aren't too far off from Thompson's either. By the way, he's only 1 year older than Thompson. Jiri Patera also played 2 games for this squad, won both of them, so he looks good. Look, like Vancouver, this team is young and consistent, but the difference is that Vegas has the better save percentage, a better goals against average, and they're just winning more frequently. The Golden Knights are in a really good spot this year, and it's because of these young, talented goaltenders, which is why I've got them at number 2. At number 1, the Edmonton Oilers. Look, when you're a consistent playoff team, Edmonton's made the playoffs, 4 years in a row now? And you've got a battle in the preseason for who's going to get the starting job, that is hard to argue against. And I talked a lot about wins, win percentage. Well, check out the record for these guys. Jack Campbell is 92, 48, and 18 in his career. Just take wins over games played. Campbell's got a better ratio than Grubauer, than Talbot, and Adin Hill. By the way, his goals against and save percentage are better in the playoffs than they are in the regular season. His goals against average is 2.28 and save percentage of 92 even. He's also made the playoffs 3 years in a row. Then there's Stuart Skinner, who's only 24 years old, but he's 36, 20, and 5. Better win ratio than Campbell. And if you take out his first ever start, which was his only game played in 2020-2021 season, which he won, by the way, his career goals against average will be 2.69. His save percentage over 2 seasons has been consistent at 91.3. Last year was his first fully fledged season where he played 50 games, got to start in the postseason for the first time. I mean, these 2 goaltenders alone have more playoff experience than all of Las Vegas, who just won the Stanley Cup. And then as an emergency third, they've got Calvin Pickard, who's an experienced guy. Played in every season, at least 1 game, since 2014. And I know you could argue, well, they've got Connor McDavid and the number 1 offense. They don't have to put up great numbers to win. But the defense is behind the curve in this division. I mean, look at their stats. They allowed the 14th most shots against. The only teams worse in this division were Anaheim and San Jose. 15th in total penalty minutes, 4th most in the division, 20th in penalty kill percentage. This isn't Seattle or Calgary or Los Angeles where the puck just isn't getting through as frequently. These guys are being tested and they are passing more frequently than not. And I'd say that the only thing they're missing is a playoff series victory, but they just beat the Los Angeles Kings in the playoff series last season. So there's a lot going right for this team. They are talented and getting better, and that's why I have them at number 1 in the Pacific Division. And that's it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to check out our official channel, phantomsportsindustries.com, to check out other sports news and updates. And be sure to click that subscribe button if you liked what you saw here to get notified of future uploads to this channel. But that's it for today. Once again, thank you all so much for watching. My name's been Joe Soyson, and we hope to see more of you next time here at Fantom.